This band's name means food of the gods. It's Ambrosia. That guy looks like John Farnham a bit. Christopher North is in fact his name. On the organ.
There's a new sun horizon. I can see a new horizon that will keep me realizing you're the biggest part of me. Need your love again beside me. Need you close enough to guide me.
I love the funky bass.
Well, make a wish, baby.
Woo!
Well, and I will make it come true. Make a list, oh, baby.
It just makes me want to groove.
The things I'll do for you. Ain't no risk now in letting my love rain down on you. So we can push away the past so that we may start anew.
I love how he's going up to the kind of Bee Gees style falsetto sound, how he's using lots of different registers. So he's down in his chest voice in the start, which is really smooth. He's using this really interesting vibrato that runs all the way through, and then as he went up, he headed up into a mix, and then this ooh is his falsetto. Now, people sometimes get confused between head voice and falsetto. One, I like to say it doesn't really matter. It's all just terminology. So you want to work out what you feel in your voice. And if people disagree on these sometimes. And if you have something that clicks in your brain, who cares if someone's like, well, I'm telling you it's falsetto. But falsetto and head voice can feel for most people kind of similar in how we often define them, because they are when your vocal cords are stretched very, very thin. So ooh, this kind of breathier tone, ooh, think of that Bee Gees sound, is often defined as falsetto. If you think of like ooh, this fuller sound where your vocal cords are together, it's actually, some people also define this as a mix, so that's why it's confusing, or a louder head voice, and that is what people define as a head voice. But this lighter, breathy, kind of more piercing sound, and like an owl, that is often what people say is falsetto. His harmonies are lovely too. I like on these he's kind of separating the notes, putting a little glottal, which is the sound in between. So instead of ever, it's not so smooth, just makes it feel like more of a step. It makes it more defined. Although I would be really gentle with this, especially if you're a beginner singer, because doing a lot of glottals, your vocal cords kind of smash together quite hard. So you have to be very, very gentle with them. So it's something that if you want to add in, I would think about it once you've really worked out your voice. I don't think it's like a beginner singer technique, because, well, I mean, you could try it, but you just want to be gentle and be aware that it might make your voice a little bit tired if you overdo it.
For me, there's nothing better. You're the biggest part of me.
So like that, again, how do we define that? Well, it kind of actually, I would define that as starting with a little bit of falsetto that goes into a head voice when it gets louder. So he's not got full chord closure, he's letting a bit of breath through. Well, and then I just went into a mix. I did something different. But he is then putting his vocal cords together and making that fuller, more resonant sound. But then, yeah, when he goes up even higher, I'd say that is falsetto again. So I hope you can hear that definition. In fact, I'm going to just go back and point it out. So we're going to go back to 1 minute 45. Let's go. falsetto, head voice, falsetto. It's also, as I say, just terminology. There'll be some other vocal coach listening being like, that's not how I would define it. And it depends on what school of thought you're from, where you have learned teaching, if you're based in opera, if you're based in musical theatre, if you're based in pop or gospel. It really is an interesting vocal world out there. Oh, I like how he said thanks. It's so precise. Wash away the past. It's really nice and staccato and bouncy. Wash away the past. And just everything is so light and nuanced and put in place. Nothing's kind of overdone. And that light feeling, I would urge you to try that actually. Often people go too heavy, especially nowadays. We're used to, especially if you're someone who's like a metal singer or something, if you're used to that heavy tone, try this really light tone and see what you can find. Sometimes it can be really useful. So see here with these high notes, this is a kind of heavier mix. Na, na, na. Really nice and heavy, and really nice and heavy. It's really balanced, I would say. It's giving him a lovely punchy, balanced tone. It's got a little bit of twang in there, which makes it cut through, and he's using these different textures that you get from the different registers as a paintbrush to colour his musical canvas. It's as if he is creating a picture of sounds.
What it means to me, flow like a lazy river for an eternity. I finally found someone who believes in me, and I'll never leave.
It's so playful as well. Playful, colourful. Oh no, there's the guy in the Hammond. I have to say, the person who looks like John Farnham, I think, might be David C. Lewis. I think I got it wrong. Because I think it was a keyboard, and it's Christopher North, who is in fact on the Hammond organ, which I just saw. I made an oops. Oh, smooth saxophone as well. That's Ernie Watts on saxophone. And David Pack on lead vocals. Oh, nice run. It makes me smile. Alright, it's time for a chair dance, everyone. Can we just stop for a moment and marvel at how in the pocket he is? He is so bouncy and rhythmic, and it's so wonderful. That takes a bit of practice. It's something that I'm personally not good at, and I love it. It's so funky. It works with that really funky bass line that's going on and the funky drums, and he's just keeping that rhythm going and echoing it in the vocals. Whoa.
biggest part of me.
I love the use of the Hammond organ as well because it really brings you back into those soul classics. It's so like Sam Cooke and people like that, and I think it's probably influenced by this. Certainly like some of the Motown. It kind of reminds me of those high notes of the Beach Boys as well. With the lovely harmonies. Well, they certainly deserve their name. And I don't know if you had this wherever you are in the world, but in the UK we had a brand of rice pudding that was really lovely. And I don't know, it was called Ambrosia. I would probably like to eat rice pudding and listen to this. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.